Team coverage of today's storm. Meteorologist Chris Dunn with the record rain. Maria Stobbs is in Queen Creek with a storm rained out a popular pumpkin patch for the first time ever. But let's start with Sean Rice, east of the valley. And Sean, I cannot believe that Globe, after all they went through just a few weeks ago, is hit again by flooding.
Yeah, Troy, that's absolutely right. Good evening to you. Just 2 short weeks ago, this entire community was hit with that deadly flooding. Multiple people lost their lives because those floodwaters just ripped through the downtown Globe area, the areas of Miami, Claypool, these small towns. A lot of people have lived here for their entire life, and I've heard multiple times they have never seen a 2-week period with as much rain as this area has seen. Let's take you to video of what it looked like this morning. This video here is given to us by Phil Smith. He is a deputy with the Gila County Sheriff's Office. He was stationed right here along Broad Street in downtown Globe, and you can see it around 10:15 this morning. Those floodwaters leaping from beyond the Pinal Creek area. That's the creek that runs right through the Globe area into the downtown streets area. Many of these businesses were already in the process of picking up the pieces and reinstalling drywall, and now they're having to do it again because of these floodwaters. We want to take you to some video given to us by Janet Klein. She drove through the areas of Miami, Globe, and Claypool this morning. From her video vantage point, you can see the waters coming from down the Pinal Creek from the mountain areas east of Globe, and the water's flowing extremely fast. It's nearly overflowing the creek area and over multiple bridges through the area. These businesses in downtown Globe for the last 24 hours have placed sandbags in front of entrances and windows. Locals here tell me that certainly did help, but the water and mud was still able to make its way into their businesses. Of course, as I mentioned, many of them were just in the process of trying to reopen from what they experienced 2 weeks ago. If we back out here live, Mayor Al Gameros is here. Mayor, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. For people who don't live in Globe but are feeling for your community, give us an idea of how you guys are feeling after some floods hit you guys again today.
You know, round 2 today was a little devastating. We thought we'd dodge a bullet again from Friday. We were getting those alerts that we were going to get the rain. This morning about 5, I came out with the fire department. We rode around to the different creek areas that we cleaned out, that were cleaned out from the last storm, and everything was running good. Everything was running smoothly, although they were high. And then right around, I think 9:30 or 10, we were down here where you see North Broad Street, and it hit this bridge that's down here, and it started just coming over the railing and getting higher and higher. And then it started flooding towards us where you see, and then about 20 minutes later started receding, which was great. It was great to see. A lot of the businesses already had their businesses sandbagged. So none of the mud like we saw last time got in there. It was more just a little bit of water. So we're happy for that. It's a cleanup on the roadway, not as devastating as the last one. We hope this through the night and tomorrow that we're able to withstand a lot of flooding.
You had mentioned to me off camera some of the preparations that were made this time around. You had mentioned a curfew that was installed over here. Some of the preparations business owners were making. Outline some of that for us.
Yeah, so we initiated a curfew Friday night, dusk to dawn. We didn't want any businesses opening beyond this because if they have public down there, then it stretches out our resources, and at nighttime it's a lot harder to do any type of search and rescue. So, and they were fully cooperative. We had no businesses open down here, and that is in effect until Tuesday, unless the weather cooperates and it gets better.
And no injuries or, of course, deaths this time around?
None at all that we are aware of. I don't know about Miami. Miami, 6 miles west of us, got the brunt of this storm. They have a lot of debris, a lot of dirt, debris on their downtown areas. So they took the hit this time.
Anything people can do to support your community this time around?
You know, it's going to be a little bit of cleanup here. I'm sure Miami's going to need some help with a lot of cleanup. I always tell people what it is to help get our businesses and residents back is to donate to the United Fund of Globe Miami. That money goes directly, working with Arizona Local First, and the Salvation Army goes directly to them now, where they can start their recovery and rebuild.
Mayor, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Troy, we'll send it back to you again. I think this community really can just get people's thoughts and their prayers right now. There is another round, we understand, of some light rain coming to this area tonight, and so we're just hoping with all of these locals that it doesn't have a major impact. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, and I know Miami got hit hard with this last series of storms a couple of weeks ago. Sean, so interesting behind you. So that muddy area, is that as high as the water got in this latest round? Because the street that you're on right now looks pretty clean, and then all of a sudden you get all that mud.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does. And from talking to the locals, the reason that specific street there, that's Broad Street, for about less than a quarter of a mile is the muddy portion is because the Pinal Creek area runs right through that, right below there. There's a bridge that you have to cross on Broad Street. And so when the water overflows, that's the area that is hit the hardest. Right along this street and east of where we are standing is completely clear. And I think it goes to show that this time around, it was not nearly as bad.
Yeah, and the mayor was talking about cleaning out that creek a bit, and maybe that helped as well. So there wasn't as much, debris and things in there to back that water up like there was a couple of weeks ago. All right, Sean, thank you. Nice reporting out there.
Yeah.
You got some video now of flooding near Mesa Gateway Airport. So again, this is out to the east as well. All these cars kind of moving through, except for that one driver. And it doesn't take that much water to get up into your engine. There's so many electrical and so much technology inside your motor anymore that if you get that much water splashed up in there, sometimes you are in some big trouble. All right, Chris Dunn is here now. And Chris, we teased it a little bit, but we're talking about, you never hear of almost 2 inches of rain at Sky Harbor Airport in one day.
Yeah, this was a big deal. 2 weeks ago, we had 1.64. That was a daily record. 1.96. I woke up this morning and I was looking through all of the reporting and I saw this number and I was a bit surprised because we were expecting an inch to possibly up to 2 inches, and we had a number of spots over 2 inches. The previous record, 32 hundredths back in 1957. Remember, yesterday's record was 31 hundredths. And that was back in the 1920s, and we broke that with the 7/10 of an inch. So between the couple of days, we've had over 3 inches of rain. This is the fourth wettest day on record in October, the fourth wettest day, the fourth wettest October now on record, and the 15th wettest single day on record in Phoenix. For the next 36 hours, we will add additional rain onto what we've had, but not in the inch to 2 inch category. Most likely about a half inch to maybe a third of an inch, according to some of our computer forecast models. A fairly quiet situation here on the radar right now around the Phoenix area. There may be 1 or 2 spot showers that develop as we get into the overnight hours. But as we expected, the bulk of that moisture and all of the rain across Pima County and into southeastern Arizona, focusing in on Globe and Superior on down the road, the 60. There still is a flood warning in effect here that goes until 6:30 just because of all of the runoff that we've seen so far today. There's not a whole lot of active weather. We saw in Sean's live shot that things are pretty dry right now. But again, the runoff from all the surrounding hills and the earlier rain that we've had, 3 inches of rain as estimated by the Doppler radar. So a lot of rain in the Globe, Superior, Miami area, and even in the valley too. The radar estimates of 4.2 inches in the East Valley. Here are the real numbers from the Maricopa County Flood Control District gauges. About 2.5 inches of rain in Gilbert and almost 2 inches of rain for Queen Creek and Mesa. Apache Junction over 2 inches, 2.13 for Chandler. Over 2 inches in Tempe and Ahwatukee, but some folks didn't get quite as much. Now, I've had reports from our weather watchers in the city of Maricopa with over 2 inches of rain. The gauge that's just north of town, a little less than a half inch, and about a quarter of an inch of rain in Glendale, but 1.5 for Avondale. Really kind of hit and miss on the west side, but really affecting the east side communities. You can see that swath of that heavier rain. Here's the projection for what we're going to see through the overnight hours. Again, a couple of spot showers here and there, and generally pretty light amounts. That's what we're expecting. Less than 1/10 of an inch for most of the valley. This takes us through about 8 a.m. tomorrow. But in the afternoon, I think tomorrow afternoon, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m., that's going to be our next opportunity, our last window of opportunity for getting some of this rain with that tropical connection. You could feel the tropical air outside right now. It is just downright muggy. So perhaps up to about a half inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain in some isolated pockets. Most of us will see about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. We'll take you through hour by hour with Futurecast for tonight. And as we go into the overnight hours, this is 10 o'clock tonight. Again, little spots here and there, and we'll see those pop up from time to time. Not the really widespread swath of heavy rain and the crashes of thunder like we've had the last couple of nights. As we go into the morning hours tomorrow, this is 10 a.m. on Monday. And then the afternoon, here it comes. More of these, a little more widespread round of showers and thunderstorms. This is on Monday afternoon, and as we go into Monday evening, things really settling down by 9:30 and 10 o'clock on Monday night. And then on Tuesday, drying, and that begins a drying trend. So scattered showers mainly in the afternoon tomorrow, with a weather impact alert continuing because the flood watch has now been extended until Monday evening. Monday showers, the flood watch remains in effect for the valley until 8 p.m. on Monday. We do have that dry stretch of weather coming up. We'll take a look at the forecast, and a glimmer of hope for sunshine lovers will be coming up. We'll get October back on track, along with cooler than average temperatures. We'll take a look at that forecast in just a few minutes. Troy, back.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. The Schneff Farms family pumpkin and chili party has been a huge Valley favorite for decades, but for the first time ever, flooding forced the closure of that very popular event today. Maria Stobbs is in Queen Creek with more on what happened here. I know this has been going on for like 25 years or something, right? And this has never happened before.
That's right. This is actually the 29th year that this has happened, and they've never seen flooding like this has caused the festival to close. I mean, take a look at all of this flooding from last night's storms. I spoke with the owners who say they've seen rain like this before, and honestly, they actually welcome it because they're a farm and they need the rain. But when it's October and they have their annual fall festival, that's losing customers. That's thousands of people every single day that normally comes to these festivals. But because of safety concerns and even some of these rides at the fun zone that aren't working because of the rain, they're having to close for the first time in 29 years. Now, I want to show you some video of other parts of the festival. You can see the pumpkins in the pumpkin patch are soaked. Even the tables with haystacks are all flooded. Now, the owners tell me that those who did purchase tickets for today are able to transfer those tickets for another day. But for the people who are still showing up, the owners have been explaining the situation to them and even offering them a free train ride around the farm.
We're able to connect with those customers that have driven out, and I think it's important to them to know that we care about them and we care about telling them and letting them know that we're closed, and we hope they can come back because it's a great event.
The owners are now using the next couple days to figure out where to improve when it comes to future storms to still be able to keep their fall festival running. And now they're expected to open up again on Wednesday. Reporting live in Queen Creek, Maria Stobbs, 12 News.
Yeah, Maria, so I saw the pumpkins kind of sitting there in water. Are they worried about losing their pumpkins or some long-term damage to some, like the ride behind you or any of that?
It doesn't seem like there's any long-term damage, but right now they're figuring out how they can drain these areas in the future so that way there won't be so much flooding next time around.
Yeah, and I bet on a Sunday, as we're getting close to Halloween, this would probably be one of their biggest days, I would think. Or getting close to it anyway.
Oh yeah, they had dozens of people still coming. We could see people coming in, and some of them are from Flagstaff. They make a whole trip out of this, but they had to explain to them, well, we can keep your ticket for next time and it'll still count.
And obviously going down there in the Queen Creek area, did you see other flooding on your way out there? What did it look like out there as you made your way down there to the farm?
We did. We saw tons of houses that had flooding in the front yards, different canals that caused flooding. So it's a pretty flooded, soaked area, this part of town.
All right. Maria, thank you for the report out there. And of course, we'll have more from Maria coming up, and Sean in our later editions. And also Jade Cunningham is working on a weather story for us as well. And that's our later newscast tonight.